outer ear is going to be, are you taping?
Yeah.
Why?
She's looking forward to getting Lisa stage fright.
I don't have your face in there, okay? Just the ear.
Okay.
Just the ear.
I've never had anybody tape in class.
This is how I learn.
You just don't know it.
I have.
Yeah, okay. Outer ear, so the collection area. Big part. You can have this thing called what? You guys know this from the other day? Pinna, right?
Oh,
It's
pinna.
that elastic cartilage that's going to be up here. Elastic and hyaline cartilage will be all the way up in the top here. And its function is it's going to collect the sound. Down here you have something called the lobe. This area right here. Really no function other than decoration. And then you get into what they have is the auditory canal, the acoustic canal or auditory canal, and this is the area right here that's going to kind of funnel it in. Now on your sheet they put the tympanic membrane as part of the middle ear. Some people say it is, some people say it's part of the outer ear still. So, tympanic membrane, if you lift out this area right here, hopefully most of you guys still have like plastic on this section. That's going to be the tympanic membrane. That's that eardrum. That's that one that starts those vibrations for you. Okay, so everything right there is considered the outer ear. And then we get into that air-filled cavity, which we call the middle ear. This has the three ossicles in it, those three small bones that transmit and amplify those vibrations. So everybody grab out their middle ear right here. Take that out of your model. 3 bones. Actual anatomical terms are not highlighted. That's the ones you guys will need to know. The ones that are highlighted are the stirrup, the anvil, and the hammer. Those are just the common terms. So make sure you know the anatomical terms. So the stirrup, actually let's start with the first one, the hammer. So the anatomical term for the hammer is what? Malleus. And so that's going to be this first bone right here. And if you look at it, it looks like a drum mallet, right? Have you ever seen that? Those drum mallets have the big cotton ball on the end, and a stick, a mallet. So that's the one right here. That's the one that's going to attach to the tympanic membrane. So those vibrations are going to transmit through that membrane, get into this bone, and then they just keep moving through. Next one, common term is called the anvil.
Incus.
And so has everybody seen what an anvil looks like on a cartoon? Ever watch, what is it, Bugs Bunny or Wiley? They always drop them on somebody. So the anvil, this one right here that has the pointed end on it, the term is called the incus. The anatomical term is the incus. So that's this next set of bones right there. You actually have to grab out your last inner ear to find the third bone. And this is going to be called the stapes. Yeah. Common term it says in there is the stirrup. Looks like a stirrup on a horse, right? So this is the stapes. So those 3 bones right there are the inner ossicles. Okay? And that's part of your middle ear. Last thing that we have is something called the eustachian tube. So just underneath right here, you're going to see a tube that's going to go down into the back of the throat. And that'll be called the eustachian tube. Remember, that's the one that's going to regulate that air pressure in there for you. So if you have pressure greater on the outside and less on the inside, either chew gum or you yawn, try to do something to open that tube up to let that air in. And that'll equalize the pressure, and then you can hear again. Okay, so that is going to be the middle ear. Last thing we have is the inner ear. Again, this is all going to be housed within that temporal bone. So there's something they call the bony labyrinth in there. And within those labyrinths, you have 3 circles. These are called the semicircular canals. These are the ones that have that endolymph in there. And these are the ones that help you give you your balance. Okay, so if in your orientation, so you know which direction you're standing, or if you're upside down, and fluid's going to roll, and then you'll be able to tell which direction you're at. So, these 3 things on the top, those are going to be the semicircular canals. They attach to an area down here. This area is called the vestibule. The vestibule is also going to be with your balance center. You can see this is where the stapes also attaches, right in the vestibule. Coming on down, you have something that looks like a snail shell. Everybody see that? That's called the cochlea. That's where you're going to house the sense for your hearing. Those transmissions are going to move those hair cells in there, That's going to create from mechanical to electrical, and that'll come out to our last structure right here. That's going to be that nerve, that vestibular cochlear nerve or that auditory nerve. And you guys know that is what number?
Number 8.
Number 8, right? Okay. So those are the structures that you guys are going to be responsible for on the lab exam. 3 parts of the ear. So you have what? What's this out here? Outer. Where are the ossicles at? What part?
Middle.
Middle. And then where do you find the nerve and the semicircular canals?
Inner.
Inner, right? Not too hard, is it?
No.
Okay. So that is your ear model. You probably have 5 questions on that for your test.